In the previous video, we froze the top row and then the first column. But you can freeze more than that, so you can scroll up and down and sideways without losing context. Select the cell that's directly below and to the right of the rows and columns you want to freeze. To freeze the top row and left column, select cell B2. It's directly below row 1 and to the right of column A. Click the Freeze Panes button and click Freeze Panes. And now the top row and left column are frozen. These lines separate the frozen panes from the panes that scroll. To freeze the top 3 rows and first 2 columns, you select cell C4. It's directly below the first 3 rows and to the right of the first 2 columns. Click the Freeze Panes button and then click Freeze Panes. And the top 3 rows and first 2 columns are frozen. To freeze multiple rows, but no columns, select the cell in column A that's directly below the rows you want to freeze. In this example, I'm selecting cell A4. All of the rows above row 4 will be frozen. Since I've selected a cell in column A, there aren't any columns to the left, so no columns are frozen. Similarly, to freeze multiple columns, but no rows, select the cell in row 1 that's directly to the right of the columns you want to freeze. In this example, I'm selecting cell C1. All of the columns to the left of column C will be frozen. Since I've selected a cell in row 1, there aren't any rows above, so no rows are frozen. When you click a cell, the Freeze Panes button is available. But when you double-click a cell to edit it, the Freeze Panes button is grayed out. The Freeze Panes button is also grayed out when you're in the Page Layout view, where you don't really need it. When this happens, just click this button here to return to Normal View, and you'll be able to use the Freeze Panes button again. Now that you've frozen the rows and columns that you want, you might want to print them so that they're on every page. In this example, I'm going to make the top 3 rows repeat on every page. I click the Page Layout tab and then click Print Titles. I click in Rows to Repeat at top, and then click cells A1 through A3. The corresponding rows are automatically filled in for me. Now I click Print Preview. And when I scroll the pages, you can see that the top 3 rows will print at the top of every page. Now you've got a pretty good idea about how to freeze panes. Of course, there's always more to learn, so check out the course summary at the end, and best of all, explore Excel 2013 on your own.